So, hey guys, Chauzu here. And yeah, these will be my accessible teams for Treasure Map Perospero. As always in these videos, we try and keep it pretty accessible, so we won't be using a lot of very new units and such, but it won't be purely free to play either. So I'm trying to mix it a bit. The main point here is to give inspiration, more options. A lot of people make teams for Treasure Map, but in the end, it's about using what units you have. So like, I don't really use units like Luffy Crew or Roger and Whitebeard here, but if you have them, you should really abuse them for the bosses, ambushes, if you don't have any of the new batch and stuff like that. So yeah, let's jump into it. This treasure map is pretty rough, honestly, especially the bosses. Mini bosses are okay, but there's a bit of a deck spam or a quick boss spam, so you want to use dex units. You also want dex units for the main bosses. There's not all that many dex units boosters. You do need to mix it up a bit. Then there's also some issues with compatibility, like the captains are classes which doesn't really support all of the free-to-play units, accessible units we got that are highly boosted, so it's very rough in that way. But yeah, for the easy boss here, this is the boss made for the free-to-play Straw Hats, and I usually just use a Big Mom team in the beginning. Last treasure map, I made a bugger team that could burst, and I had stuff like Germa, Sub, we drew crocodiles, just a lot of stuff to increase the damage. And I'll probably do the same this treasure map, but that's for my next video. Like for these teams, I'm not thinking that you have to do all that many nav levels, like especially this treasure map, so eventually you just won't be able to beat the ambush anymore, so there's a hard cap here if you don't have any of the new legends. But yeah, for the Yak boss here, you use Caesar twice to wave clear, then you use Big Mom to kill. Brook removes all the buffs of the boss, and Sengoku is just filler. Can be whatever you have. Should be 40 cost or less though to get the HP boost. If you do have Koala, you could also use her for healing. But if you do have her, she might be a good option as on another team as captain, since there's a lot of dex bosses here, but that's an option. Anyway, let's move on. First we have King, which is the only dex boss, so you can do a strength team. I'm using Odin as cap. There are other options, of course, but I feel like most people do have Odin since he's a pretty old unit. And if you don't have the 6+ Odin, it doesn't really matter. They are very similar. And at least if you do a mono strength team. But yeah, if you look at the debuffs, slots are changed to Psy Int Tandem. You get Burn, Delay Immunity, 2-turn barrier. And basically this stage is made for Yak and Queen, but I went another route since I do want to give more options that you can do, and it makes sense using Odin as captain here, I think. And the thing is that Odin has Berry Pen, the Foxy unit also has Berry Pen, so you can just ignore the barrier that way. Also, Odin will do Ore Boost. We have the cat here. He can do an attack boost. We have Sanji for chain lock, Krieg and Gim for poison conditional, and since we have Yak, or we have Neko as a sub, we can use Odin super type special as well. And all we lack really here is color affinity, and you can just add kid support on something to get that. So yeah, this should work pretty well, honestly. I won't be using Odin here myself, most likely, but I'll talk about that when I make my own teams. Moving on, we have Queen here, and this stage is very much designed for the new Blackbeard as captain. basically slots are changed to unfavorable, special reverse, the crewmates only get special bind, and we get 5 turns of high defense. And yeah, most of this stuff is handled by Blackbeard. So yeah, he sets defense to 0, removes the special bind, and we do get the self-rocking death down conditional and some base stats. So all we have left to deal with after that is the special rewind, which I'm using Garp to handle because there is not a lot of boosted units to handle the special rewind this treasure map, which is very annoying since there's a lot of special rewind. So Garp handles that. Then we can use Kizaru to give an attack boost. You can even use him to get a chain lock if you have the support, which is the Akainu. There is. You get a chain lock with him. It's not required, but I recommend running it if you have him. And then you have the treasure map Luffy here, who gives an orb boost and also handles the unfavorable orb. So this should handle everything. We just lack some color affinity again. A bit more difficult to handle that, but it's hard to fit everything. Maybe you can replace Brook with something. But yeah, should work pretty well. Moving on, we got Kaido, and here I felt like we're running out of good captains. Like if you look at the quest guide here, they want you to use Tashigi, but I really feel like you should save Tashigi for the boss, since that's where points matter more, and Tashigi is one of the few high boosters. So I went another route here. Slots are changed to unfavorable. We get a chain lock, special reverse, and 4 turns of damage threshold. And yeah, the plan here is that on stage 2, we use the Yak special. This will give us a 3-turn chain lock. And by getting that, we stop the chain lock from Kaido, so we can just ignore that. For the special reverse, we have Law, so he reduces the CD. Then for attack boost, we have Koala. You could maybe use her special stage 2 as well to get a higher buff if you want, but probably fine to not do that. And then for Ore boost, we have Zoro, and he also goes through defensive effects. So you, even though there's damage threshold, you can still hit with Zoro. So since I'm not thinking that these teams will last super many nav levels, this should be fine for sure in terms of damage. And you also have Zoro's super die special to get color affinity. And we do have a Luffy on the crew. So I do think this team is pretty solid. I know there are some people who refuse to use non-boosted units, but I do think you should give up on that. It's more important to have solid teams. And mini bosses really don't give a lot of points. It's important for the bosses though. And this is my team for the Big Mom boss. And this Perospero is supposed to be the new Perospero. I'm using the Kisna Perospero as filler, just to show the support and stuff like that. Until you get Perospero, you can probably change captain, like probably just use Tashigi as captain. And you can change the ship to this one. This is the cheat ship against Resilience, Dreadnought Saber. You don't get an attack boost or anything, but it won't take long to get Perospero, and before that, damage is not a super big issue. But yeah, the plan after that is Perospero, because the Treasure Map Perospero gives both a chain lock, and he has end of turn damage if captain is quick, and if Perospero is captain, then the captain is quick. And this lets you bypass a lot of the annoying debuffs here. Like on stage 2, you get Despair, Paralysis, Resilience. Perospero goes through the Resilience. And then on stage 3, there's Decreased Chain, and Perospero does a chain lock for 3 turns. So you ignore the Decreased Chain as well. Despair Paralysis is a bit more annoying. I decided to give up on the Paralysis, because if you read the guide, it's only top row that gets Paralysis. So that means it's Perospero and Frank Captain. And the Frank Captain is Carrot and Wanda. And I feel now like I should really double check, because I've just assumed that Carrot swap handles both paralysis and the spear. So let's just make sure I've not made a big fool of myself. Let's check out Carrot and Wanda. Swap. Yeah, paralysis, the spear, slot bind. So basically, by swapping Carrot and Wanda, we do get rid of paralysis on them, so only Perospero has it. So we'll just keep it on Perospero. It's not optimal, but removing paralysis with the units we have, not super easy at all. And since it's 5 turns, you really need to run some subpar units to do it. So I decided to just ignore it. But yeah, basically the plan here is that the problem here is that we don't know the color of stage 2. Since final stage is quick, I presume stage 2 is strength. So you should start with Dex, Carrot and Wanda. Stage 2, you swap them to quick to get color affinity. Advantage, you remove the paralysis, you get the attack boost. Then Perospero support, removes 2 turns of the spear. 1 turn left, which we handle with Shanks and Beckman swap. Also not optimal, but I didn't see many options to remove the spear either. Pretty annoying treasure map, honestly. And then, basically, if we look at stage 3, crewmates only get special reverse, and that's super hard to deal with. So I've just decided that just use most specials stage 2. You can use Queen then if you want. Like Queen is filler, he's not really needed, but he's good points. You can use Tashigi for color affinity. You could even use this guy for an ore boost, and then Carrot swap gives attack boost. Then final stage, you just swap Carrot and Wanda again to Dex. Use their special, you get 2 times attack boost, 2.5 times ore boost, and you get color affinity from Zoro support. And yeah, basically final stage has the nullified damage as well and the rainbow shield, so only Carrot will be doing any real damage. So basically when Carrot stops doing the killing, you're pretty much screwed, and it's the same for both this boss and the invasion. So yeah, there's pretty much a hard cap this treasure map unless you get any of the 3 new Sulong legends. It sucks, but it is what it is. One thing I forgot to say is that Perospero Captain is actually 4 times attack for Striker and Cerebral when you use his special. So we actually get a 4 times attack Captain, and that's pretty damn solid. So I do have some hopes for this team. I think this is a solid team, and I don't see us getting that much more boost out of it, so yeah. Anyway, for the ambush, and yeah, I tried to make a pretty unique team here as well, because yeah, that's the purpose of this video, more options. Stage 2, you get 3 turns attack down, slots locked, 3 turns paralysis, and 5 turns damage threshold. And on defeat, full HP recovery, 3 turns special reverse. This is actually hell. And I spent a lot of time thinking about how to handle this, and there's really no easy answer to that. What I settle on basically is on stage 2 we stall 1 turn. Stalling 1 turn will let Tashigi remove with damage threshold. And while I do say we stall a bit here, I want to note that the quest guide does not include what the bosses do if you stall. I presume it won't be too bad, because most people just have to stall here. There's no way around that. But they might screw you out completely, which means this won't work, and you will have to run a lot of very low or unboosted units for this. But yeah, I'll make this team as if you can stall, but if you can't stall, we'll figure it out after the treasure map starts. It sucks, but we can't do anything about that. But basically, stall a turn, Tashigi is ready. Rayleigh support removes the remaining paralysis, so paralysis is gone. Then we can swap Carrot and Wanda. And basically, I'm doing the same assumption here, like The final boss is quick, so let's say the stage 2 boss is strength. So you start with Dex, Wanda, and Carrot, and swap to quick. Get the attack boost. We use Luffy to remove the attack down. You can probably use Odin first, since you won't be able to use him. Maybe you can use him final stage. I haven't really thought this through. Stuff like this needs some testing, honestly. We also use Yak here. Get some more matching orbs, but more importantly get the 3-turn chain lock for some extra damage. Then you kill the boss, he revives, and you get the special reverse, and we're going to stall the special reverse for 2. So what we do is we are on, say, Carrot. So we swap to Wanda, then the next turn we swap back to Carrot, who is quick, and now you have a 2 times attack boost quick unit again for the strength boss, and you stall a turn, so CD is now 2. So when you move on to final stage, everybody will be recharged again, so you get to stall out the special recharge. You don't need to stall 3 turns, just 1 turn, and they will be ready final stage. The negative thing here is that we don't really have any buff. We have the chain lock still from Yak, and we have the attack boost from Carrot, but that's it. It's not optimal, but it is what it is. Then on the final stage, we have the special limit, we have the top row slot bind, and the 10 turns of strength or bind. Strength. Yeah, it's a barrier, strength barrier. Oh, I'm getting tired. There's so much to think about this here. But basically here we swap back to Wanda, use Carrot and Wanda special, we remove the slot bind, we get 2 times attack boost, we get the war boost from the special. As said before, you could maybe save Odin special here and use it first. But what you do want to use is Odin's super type special. So Wanda and Carrot gets a Wanda slot, which will be nice. That's why Shitemari is on the team, to allow Odin to do this. And we also have the sword support for some color affinity. And then you just build up the chain, hit with Wanda and Carrot last, hope they kill. This won't last that long either, but she'll definitely last until you get 10 million points. So yeah, this treasure map will suck for many. Luckily, I already got my dog from YOLO, so I don't really have any limit the same way. But anyone who doesn't have the new dog, cat, or Carrot and Wanda are going to really struggle this treasure map. And I'm honestly not sure what Bandai is thinking. Like, so many people already hate this mode. And honestly, if ever a treasure map was like this, I probably hate it too. Now I'm okay with it, since A, I got lucky, B, not every treasure map is like this. But I still don't understand why. This should be obviously super dumb. But it is what it is. Anyway, I hope these teams help. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.